Does COVID concern you? Well, I'm sure it does. Well, today I want to share with you how to feed your family healthy even when we may be in a food shortage. Hi, I'm Annette Reeder, the Biblical Nutritionist, and it's always my joy to share with you God's recipe for excellent health. And today we need to dive into what's happening around us. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do so by hitting the button down below. And next to that's a little bell that'll get you notified every time we post a new video. And we have videos coming out 3 times a week. And that's all to keep you informed in how to understand God's love for you and the food that He created to bring health to your body. Well, today we're going to take a different view on that food that He's given us, and I want to teach you how to work through a food shortage and still stay healthy. Well, this past weekend was the strangest weekend in the history of my life here in America, because everyone ran to the store, filled up all their carts, and emptied the entire shelves of Walmart and all your big food grocery stores. Well, I missed out. Have you ever heard of the term FOMO effect? Well, FOMO is what I was missing, and that's the fear of missing out. So instead of going to all the grocery stores and emptying the shelves with everyone else in that circus, I was up in Chicago just enjoying a fun time with a friend of mine, because I had booked a conference which canceled, but I kept my ticket and went ahead and went and had a delicious time cooking lots of fun foods and touring and things like that. But the thing is, I missed out on the circus, and I kind of felt like, oh, I missed the fun of going to the store and dealing with all of the crazy people. Well, so I went to the store today, and this is now, this is on a Wednesday. And so I went to the store, and the stores were already stocked back up again. Now, so we might think that food will always be around if we just kind of wait it out. It's usually a 3-day turnaround before grocery stores can fill back up. I explain it in the Proverbs 31 prepper book of how we need to understand that there's a 3-day turnaround before grocery stores can restock. Now, this has been a prime example of how that works. So now the grocery stores are almost filled back up. And so I got everything I needed, and it was good. But on my drive home, I had to drive by the Tyson chicken plant. Well, the parking lot of the chicken plant is only 1/4 the cars that are normally there on a normal shift working day. Well, we need to think about that. So if there's less cars at the production plant, that means there's going to be less production of the food coming down the road. Since we are in a situation that we don't know how long it's going to last, we need to practice good principles for making our food last longer. Now, there's reasons why we need to learn how to eat healthy even through a food shortage, and I want to share with you the reasons that I want you to think about this. Number one, I want you to reduce your grocery store dependency. Yes, I want you to be less dependent on the grocery store. So if I can decrease your spending in the grocery store and your need to go to the grocery store by 1/4, think about what that could do to your food budget. All right, that's one reason. Another reason is I want you to keep your health a priority. That's actually should be number one as far as I'm concerned. I'm more concerned about your health than how many times you go to the grocery store. And then third, I want to bring a new level of healing to your body. And that's what we're going to talk about through these tips of helping you work through a food shortage in the grocery store. Now, I already shared with you how just driving down the road and seeing that the Tyson plant only has 1/4 of their workers, how that could affect us. So let's go into these tips. The first tip is, number one, I want you to eat 20% less food over the entire day, not just at breakfast. Okay, I'll cut back 20% at breakfast. No, I mean the entire day. Now, it's been proven through most of my textbooks and through the courses that I've been through, and, even when I have to get my credits each year to stay, in my professional networks, people in America, now I know we've got people watching all over the world, but people in America can easily cut back 20% of the amount of food that they eat and probably not even notice it. We eat too much. We eat too much all day long. So cutting back your food intake by 20% is just a really healthy tip for everyone to do, no matter what's going on around us. Now, all ages could cut back 20%, possibly down to a 3-year-old. So between an infant to 3, that's not necessarily a good step to take, but 3 and up, yeah, 20% cut back. And you'll be amazed how much better you're going to feel. And it's really a mindset. Once you tell your mind, hey, I'm just going to cut back 20%, I'm going to enjoy it, your body won't even notice it. And it will notice it to the fact that you're going to feel better, but it's not going to have cravings and things like that affecting you. All right, step number 2 is no snacking between meals. Yes, I teach this a lot with all of my clients is I need you to go 4 hours without eating in between meals. I need you to do this so your body can actually learn what hunger and satiety really is. We can't understand hunger unless we go without eating. Number 2 is no snacking between meals. Yeah, this is sometimes for certain people, this is very difficult because we are so addicted to eating and the action of eating. It's kind of this elbow exercise that we get every day. I want you to go between meals, 4 hours between meals with no snacking. All right, that's going to save your budget as well. You're also, from this, going to learn what hunger is. You're going to learn what satiety is. Now, this doesn't mean you eat more at the meals. Remember, step 1 was cut back 20%. So you apply that. Step 2 is now no eating between meals. So go 4 hours between meals without eating. All right, once you've mastered that, and that shouldn't take too long, maybe even just one day, step 3 is what I want you to do, is I want you to do what I've been teaching you in all of my grocery store videos and all of my healthy living videos is remember, protein and fiber. When we have good fiber in our food, number 1, we're going to be satisfied with less food, less quantity. Our body and our digestive system is going to work better. Remember, stress can lead to constipation. Well, the answer to constipation is going to be fiber. Well, it would also be probiotics and prebiotics, which are going to feed on the fiber. And so fiber is key. So when we get good fiber in our diet, we're going to be satisfied with less quantity of food. Our digestive system is going to keep moving because when we're under stress, it can slow it down. It can slow down the digestive process, which can lead to a backup of unremoved cells that need to be removed from your body. Instead, they recycle. And we've got other videos that talk about that process. Okay, so protein is going to bring just that satisfied feeling like, okay, that was a good meal. My mind is feeling good. My digestive system is feeling good. Protein is key for every cell in your body. Fiber is key to keep our digestive system moving. When our digestive system is working properly, we're going to balance our insulin. We're going to utilize the glucose effectively. Our digestive system is going to communicate with this vagus nerve going up to our brain. We're going to be less likely to be stressed, less likely to be depressed, and we're going to have a resiliency that's going to help us deal with what's going on around us. Okay, step 1, you're going to decrease your meals by 20%. Step 2, you're going to wait 4 hours between meals. Step 3, you're going to make sure every meal has protein and fiber. All right? Step 4, you're going to start implementing fasting. Fasting began in Scripture. A lot of other writers want to take credit for it. They want to send it back to Hippocrates, things like that. Fasting began in Scripture. It was God's plan to help us to mentally focus on Him and what He's doing in our life. And by setting aside food for a certain period of time, that it just helps us to recognize what He's doing in our life. We have a complete chapter on fasting in our Treasures of Healthy Living Bible study. We discuss fasting in our 40 days transformation course, both physically and spiritually. You know, we have fasting everywhere throughout all of our programs. So hopefully you've checked into either of those. So fasting is just that time to set aside. So we've already talked about we're going to go 4 hours between meals. Now, once you've done that, let's just say you stop eating dinner at 6:30. Okay, so we start our time from the minute you stop eating, not from when you started the dinner, but when you stopped eating. Fork is down, okay? And then let's say you stop eating at 6:30. And let's say you were not snacking. Remember, we got rid of snacking. You now go until breakfast at 8 o'clock the next morning. Okay, so you would calculate those hours of a fast. Okay, now then you would write that down on your calendar. Then I want you to stretch it from 6:30 to 10 a.m. the next morning. Okay, we've added 2 hours to our fasting clock. I want you to do this until you've hit 14 and 16 hours of fasting. And I want you to do this at least 3 times a week. So we've gone from 4 hours between meals, and now we're doing a 12-hour, a 14-hour, and a 16-hour fast from dinner all the way till the next day. Now, what this is going to do, it's going to teach you that you don't need as much food as necessary, which is going to save you from being dependent on the grocery store. It's going to help heal our body and help it to deal with the stress we might be under with all of this COVID crisis that's happening. And it's going to make our relationship with the Lord still our priority. That's what these 4 steps are all about. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I really want to thank you. Be sure and give it a thumbs up if you like this video. We have some other videos that talk about discipline, and I'm going to put links to those as well, because that is what this is all about. It's all about disciplining our mind. Our body just does what our mind tells it, so let's work with the mind, learn to discipline ourselves, and really enjoy what God is doing around us, not get caught up in the stress of the moment, and let's stay healthy at the same time. Also, when we're doing the fasting and we're keeping our digestive system healthy, we are building that immune system. We are priming it to be effective for us. Annette Reeder, the Biblical Nutritionist. Be sure and give it a thumbs up and say you like this. Be sure and put your comments down below, because together we can share God's recipe for excellent health. Till next time.